Recording starts now. All right, everybody, thank you so much for joining us today for this webinar. We're going to explore how to use your community bulletin. So we've done some updates recently to the community bulletin and to some of the other parts of the website. Just to let you know, you are here talking with Andy and Joe from Bigmarker.com. We are both community heroes here at Bigmarker, so our job on Bigmarker is to make you successful with your community. So that includes support, marketing, all sorts of different things for your group. So if you ever have any questions about your community or communities on Bigmarker, please send either of us an email and we can help you out. As Andy said, we are in our headquarters here in downtown Chicago. Just to let you know, just as a little public service announcement, inside the conference room, please do not use Chrome if you're planning on sharing your audio or video. Well, actually, your audio, your video is just fine. Chrome is having issues with their internal flash. Chrome likes to be on the cutting edge of technology for everything. So that means sometimes when they publish their newest updates, they have lots of problems. And one of the most recent problems, which affects more than just Bigmarker, it's actually affecting industry-wide, an industry-wide problem, and that is echo issues. So basically, Flash on Chrome does not have the ability to solve the echo problem. So if you're sharing your audio on Chrome, please just either use Firefox or use a headset. Using a headset works just fine, but if you'd like to, you can switch to Firefox. I currently am on Firefox right now. So we've done some recent updates to the website. Before we start any of these webinars, I'd like to go over the recent updates, which includes enhancing the bulletin. We've also done updates to the community about page, and we've done some conference upgrades so that people could share larger files and things like that. And Dell is asking, he's on Chrome. Since I'm not able to share audio in the office, it's just okay to stay on. Yeah, if you're listening on Chrome, you're just fine. It literally is just if you're going to be speaking. So if I was on Chrome right now, we'd have an echo problem. But since we're on Firefox, we're good to go. So you're able to watch and listen still. Just if you wanted to share your audio, you just have a problem. So we're today talking about the bulletin. The bulletin is one of your main features on Bigmarker. It's a way to keep your group all connected between these face-to-face meetings. So that's the idea of the bulletin and why we created it. So whenever you have these big conferences, these big webinars like we're hosting right now, you can use the bulletin to stay connected to that group. So you're able to post updates, share files, send thank yous or kudos, create polls, pin posts, search, and create video conferences and webinars from the bulletin. So the bulletin is one of your community features. So when you create a community, you're able to have this particular feature. So when you do create your group, your community, you're able to have all of the different features, including the bulletin. So this is your bulletin from your community. We're looking at the community organizers group. So we are signed in right now. I am signed into my account. So we'll go through this community quickly. So all the way to the top left by our logo, we have our little nav bar. So this lets you switch between your groups. So if you were to open this up, you could see all the different groups you were in, and it shows the top 5 groups you're most active in. And then it also allows you to click to see all of your groups, create a new group, or browse groups. And if we keep going, we have home, which takes you to your home page. This has a breakdown of all your groups. We'll go over that more in a little bit. Your messages, your notifications, what you've been invited to. And then your profile, so if you ever need to edit your profile, your own personal account settings, you can do that here. And then we have the group itself. So to start off the group, the community, we have the cover page. So we have our cover photo and our community logo. So if you were the organizer of this group, you can actually scroll over these and see a little edit button. This allows you to edit your logo and edit your community cover page. We've also added the ability for you to take off your logo if you just want the background image. One of the updates recently is to actually cut off that this logo, this cover page, is actually now only goes to the width of the screen. It used to just keep bleeding off it took forever. Now it's just the current size to make it a little bit easier to format your photos for. Underneath that, we have the name of the community, whether it is public, private, or invisible. A few share buttons. So this here, you can share on Twitter, Facebook, or Pinterest. This actually shares the whole group, so you're able to share the group there. And then we have the pinwheel right here that allows you to leave your community or to edit your community if you aren't organized. Underneath that, we have bulletin, calendar, conferences, organizers, about, and then invite others. Today we'll mostly be talking about the bulletin. So if you have questions about any of these other four right here, you can save those questions till the end. And then we have invite others. So if you can invite people from the community bulletin, so this invites them to the group, the community at large. Underneath here, we have new meeting and new webinar. When we say meeting, we just mean video conference, and then we have new webinar. If you click these buttons, what will happen is a creation wizard will pop up, and that'll help you create a video conference or a webinar for right now. So just to let you know, the differences between the two is a meeting/video conference is a private event that's specifically meant for collaboration. So the idea is it's a face-to-face meeting. You do it quickly. It has the ability to meet now or meet later. And those are pretty much the basics of it. Everybody inside a meeting or video conference is an administrator. So that means whenever they create, that means anybody inside the room can have admin privileges. So anybody can hit the record button, anybody can hit add a file, etc. So we suggest we keep those for smaller groups. If you're doing maybe 25 and above, 20 and above, however you feel comfortable with, you would switch to webinar. So webinars are more of a larger group. You have presenters and you have people that are attendees. This is a webinar. In a webinar, the presenters have more administrative privileges than the attendees, including the ability to lock the room and to lock attendee controls. So that's just something to know when you're creating it. I would suggest webinars, again, for larger groups or groups of people you don't know. So if you're not as familiar. And then underneath this, we have our search features. So you're able to search the bulletin. So this is what we call elastic search. So what that means is if you type anything into this search bulletin, it will actually find it. So if I type in Andy, it'll pull up all the posts by Andy and all the ones that refer to Andy in the posts. You can also filter by post, including all posts, messages, files, kudos, and polls, by privacy, both public and private. And then you can also filter by date if it's this year, next year, this week, this month, etc. And then now we'll move over to the right. So we have these three different sections. We have post messages and share files, give kudos, and ask a question. So the post messages and files is what it's automatically set to. And this allows you to post an update to the whole group. You can also post messages and send messages to individuals. So you can select in here that I want to send this just to Andy and Andy and Bill, Bill and Dima. You can select how many people you'd like in this. What happens if you select a private message is only those members are alerted of the private message, and only they are able to comment back on it and see it in their bulletin screen as well. So when you send a private message, it's just for those specific people. So if you wanted to post to everybody, you just type in here, and then you can go down and you see that there's a way to add a file. So this, you can actually add a file now to your message. Originally, file sharing was its own particular feature. Now it's combined into the two, so you can add a file to these messages. So you can actually click to say, I would like to add this video, add another video, add a PDF, and then they all show up in the posts below. So when you choose a file, you select it from your computer, and then you can click Post, and it'll actually load and post those files. This also means you can load more than one file at a time, so that's nice because that means it will send out multiple emails full of multiple files. Also too, just to let you know, is we have another feature called Pin This Post to the Top. So that is also what this is. Only organizers of the group are able to pin posts, and what happens is those pin posts go to the far right. So it kind of creates a, more forum-like post for yourself over here to the right. So these are the most important posts inside the group. So if you wanted to share your group history or upcoming updates, etc., you can here to the right. So you can, upcoming webinar, pin the post to the right. You can also pin it right from the computer. It's that easy. And then we'll move on to Give Kudos. So on the Give Kudos section, this is a thank you. So you can actually send a thank you to an individual. So from here you can select, I've selected Andy, Team Bigmarker, and I want to send him a star badge. Basically I select him, I say something nice to him, and then I send him a kudos. And he gets an email telling him, thank you for a job well done. This is a way to gamify your community, to make it a little bit more fun to be in. So we use it as a motivational tool here on our team, and that's how most groups use it as well. It's a way to say thanks, to let everyone know you're doing a good job. The kudos also published to the main page. People are able to still comment on them, and everybody else is able to see kudos. Then we have Ask a Question. So this is posting a poll, basically. So you're able to ask a question. So we can ask, what would you like for lunch today? And then you can give 4 answers people can choose from. So you could say Mexican, Chinese, Italian, hamburgers. Create the poll. You can also select that either they can select one answer, multiple answers, or choose when the poll closes. So you can have it close today, you can have it close tomorrow. Then you create a poll, and the poll publishes below, and people can vote on what their answer is. It's that easy. One second. So when you publish a post, so if you were able to, right here in the front, if you put awesome, here's an awesome video you should watch, you hit post, everybody in your community will receive an email that looks kind of like this. This lets everybody know what's happened in the email and what to take actions on this. So one of the nice things about our email for posting to the bulletin, except for polls, it doesn't work for polls right now, is that you're actually able to reply back to the post. So you can see right here, it says, please type your reply above this line. Reply will be posted to the bulletin. So this means that everyone with their email notification set up to get an email, or if you have your email set up to send out emails in your group, everybody will receive this email and they can reply back to their phones, reply back with their email. So this means if you're in line at the bank and you receive one of these emails, you can actually reply right there on your iPhone, your Android device. And then that is actually published to the bulletin as well. So the people who have commented beforehand are alerted, and then everybody can keep the conversation going, even if they're off the Bigmarker. It makes it much easier to keep your group engaged and connected, even through email if they are unable to, get to the website at that time. So all you have to do is when you see this email, it says please type your reply above this line. All you have to do is type your reply above this line. So anything included right here, not counting this section of it, but anything basically from your signature and above will be included in that particular post. So just to let you know that your signature is also included. So if you have phone numbers, etc., shared in that signature, those will be published as well. Finally, with the community bulletin, the last thing to know is on your home page, so if you were to select home right here, the little home guy, this sends you to your home, which is a culmination of all your communities. It also shows you what are the upcoming webinars / conferences that you can attend. That shows at the top. I do not have this listed up here. And it shows what are some of the updates that have happened in your groups since the last time basically you logged in. So we can see that Jusong right up here scheduled a video conference. Welcome Paul to Bigmarker. that happens today at 3 p.m. Are you attending? I can RSVP. I can also make a comment from here, so I can type in and send Song a comment that, no, I'm not going to be able to make it, so have it without me. And we have David White underneath here posted as well to a group I'm in, and I can add a comment to that group as well. Hank also did as well, and you can keep responding. So it's a way that you can also see all of the things that are happening in your communities at one single point in time. So this is an easy way to break down if you're in 4 or 5 different. That again is the home section, and this is your home bulletin basically. I wanted to show you guys this quick. This is the update on the new About page. This has nothing to do with the Community Bulletin. It's just something to know. So we have Bulletin, and then we have the About. We've redone the About page that basically it now has your community overview, which you can edit from the About page. You have your About section on the About page. So this allows you to add a little bit more than just your overview. So you can add as much text as you want to the About Us page. You can also use HTML in the About Us section as well. So if you want to post a video or something like that in there, you can. You just need the HTML code to do that. You can see who's organizing this particular community. So you can see that the community organizers is organized by Andy and Joe. You can see the contact information down here. You can also see the upcoming webinars/conferences. And you can see who's also in this group, the members as well. So this is a public one, so you can see a little bit more. The private and the invisible groups, you can't see as much. In all of them, you are able to see who the organizers are. Just so everybody knows, the upcoming updates that are happening in the next couple of weeks these are for the community. We have enhanced member page and profile, conference and webinar landing pages, so those would be redone to make them look a little nicer and make more sense. And we are also redoing the browse page as well, so it's easier to find the groups that you would like to be part of. For video conferences and webinars, we are adding Australian servers. I hope I spelled Australian correctly. Desktop sharing and who is talking, so that makes it so it shows up that Joe is the one speaking, so that's a little easier to tell. And that is the presentation. So if anybody has any questions later, you're able to email Andy and myself. Here's our emails as well, so if you want to, you can email either of us. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask them. You can ask them about the bulletin or anything else on Bigmarker that you have questions about. You have our attention for the next 10 minutes. We try to keep these webinars at about half an hour because we know you're probably way busier than we are. We have a lot of Nintendo to keep playing after this is over. So Firefox and what other browsers are best to use with Bigmarker? So our system requirements, I should probably put that into all of our presentations now. Our system requirements are the most updated versions of Internet Explorer, Firefox, Google Chrome, or Safari. Most of the people at Bigmarker that work here use Google Chrome. I use Firefox, and we have one employee that uses Safari all the time. No one on our staff uses Internet Explorer, ever. We do testing on it when we need to. We highly suggest that you do not use Internet Explorer and that you delete it from your computer and never use it again. The other three are fine. Internet Explorer is the inferior browser to all of other browsers. The only thing we say about Internet Explorer is do not use Internet Explorer 9. We have discontinued any service to that particular browser at all. So if you're using Internet Explorer 9, we do not support anything to do with that. So the website may not actually look correct to you. And the non-support of Internet Explorer 9 is also something that is kind of internet-wide now. People just don't want to support it anymore. So we suggest Firefox and Chrome. Obviously, Chrome now has this audio issue, so we are promoting.
I'm going to jump in. Like, I'm going to be using Chrome. It still works for me. So
Yeah.
it's going to be more about, like, if you're having any sort of echo, it's going to be really worse. It's going to be a lot worse. So Chrome still works. It's just if it doesn't work, that's the problem. So
Yeah.
it's just good to stay. It's good to stay clear of it for now.
Yeah.
We've had this issue in the past. About a year ago, they fixed it within a month or so. So we assume that they will fix it in a month.
My biggest suggestion is, as a community organizer, yeah, that's probably why. Because the Chrome issues happen. That's been a problem now for about a month. We've since found out. My suggestion is Chrome and Firefox. To tell your members to use those two, because Chrome and Firefox automatically update. So Chrome and Firefox force you to update, which is great because that means you get the newest updates, and if things are broken, usually they get fixed pretty quickly. Internet Explorer and Safari require the user to update them, and most computer users that are forced to update something just don't, because that's just more work for them. So typically somebody who uses Internet Explorer and Safari all the time might not have an updated browser, and thus probably also don't have an updated computer. So that's just something that now, again, we promote Firefox and Google Chrome. When you watch the recording, we do record video. We record the audio, video, and chat, and the presentation. Video does not show up for Safari and Internet Explorer. That's, again, because those browsers are behind on the technology for video display. And, I mean, mostly we just say avoid Internet Explorer, and you're pretty good. The only last thing about my other suggestion about browsers, just as a aside, is to have two browsers, to have Chrome and Firefox on your computer, just in case one's not working and you can switch to the other one. And I just say that internet-wide, is that if you're having problems on Chrome, sometimes it just gets the best switching to Safari. It's just how certain websites format things. All right, cool. Do we have any other questions that we can help you with? We also have a few links, too, just to let you know, is we do have a help center that it's going to be updated sometime soon, help.bigmarker.com. If you have any questions, you can check there first. We also have blog.bigmarker.com. That's our blog. We have a new recent article about the Art Institute of Chicago and how they use social media to engage with their community members. It's pretty great. We have our YouTube channel, which has a lot of how-to videos. All of them are now slightly out of date because of the couple updates we've done in the last 2 weeks, but they're still very good about how to do most things. They're pretty spot on. We also have our Facebook page and our Twitter account if you'd like to follow us. That's where we also put updates. And again, you feel free to email us, and we will have a few things in the future that are going to be really cool. We're both very excited to get things moving and grooving at Bigmarker. And as Andy said, is correct, please enjoy the rest of your day. And I'm going to end the recording now.